Hey YouTube, Shelka04 here. So I'm gonna make a video today talking about stupid preppers and how they're gonna die. And I guess that's simple enough right there. So I'm gonna show you some pictures of examples of people who I found on the internet. And we're gonna talk first about who's gonna die, and then we'll talk about who's gonna live and why. Okay? So let's take this girl. Okay, so there. Now, yes, she was very pretty to look at. Probably a bit underdressed for a low crawl. Probably doesn't have many skills other than just looking like that. As I said, she probably would be an asset that you could have around if you were a cannibal, or if you had ample water so that everybody could take showers and do their hair, and probably makeup would be a good thing to have around too if you needed to maintain that look. Otherwise, that is a complete I don't know what that is, but that's an embarrassment. Now let's look at this douchebag. Okay, so if that thing came walking down the street in my neighborhood, first off, I'd be inclined to go out and ask him where his mother is, and then I'd go in and call his parents. Because I don't know what. Okay, so he looks a little intimidating, but I don't know what where we're going with this. This is prepping. Prepping is sort of short for preparing, right? Preparing for a problem. This kid is not prepping. Then let's see, who else is on the list. Problem is, I've got the list in the RV, so I'm going off the top of my head. Let's talk about these guys. Okay, so I don't know if this is like a card game that decided that they wanted to buy guns and go out into the woods, or what these guys' skill set is or are, but these sort of look almost like the most dangerous guys that you'd run up against. That they don't seem like they'd be as interested in reconstituting local authority or government or community. They seem more like they'd be more interested in running around and yahooing things up. And then let's look at this guy. Now this guy, all I can say is he pissed away a lot of money, and I think if you pushed him over, he probably wouldn't get up. So he's the modern day equivalent of one of those middle-aged knights in shining armor, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't weigh an extra 150 pounds with all that crap that he's got. So I've been talking about all the idiots and douchebags, and the people who I don't think are going to last more than a week, just because of well, you figure that out on your own. But who do I think will make it? Well, there's this guy. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he'll make it because he's making it right now. The problem is, the thing for him is that he's on the other side of the world over there, somewhere in Central Africa. So he's doing it right now. But maybe he's not. Maybe this is an old photo. I can't tell. It's definitely black and white. But then there's this guy. Now this guy is definitely doing it in today's modern age. He's over there in Australia, and we know that the Aborigines are living out there in places like Jigalong and Milla Milla, in the Tablelands. They're doing it right now. There's no mystery there. Go rent a copy of Crocodile Dundee. You'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, so they're doing it over there for real. Now, what about here? Now, the people who I think could be doing it are the American Indians, like these guys. But the problem is, unfortunately, I'm not sure that they've got the skill set anymore. I think the American Indians of days gone by are just that. American Indians and skill sets of days gone by. And now you get more of this. Sort of the ceremonial thing and all that, and that's fine. I can't slight. Look at me, I'm fat and overweight and old. Probably balding a little too. Anyway, so who will get it? Well, it's going to be these people. Because they're doing it already right here. Right there on the other side of that mountain range. Or right there on the other side of that mountain range. Now, these guys, they're doing it right now. These are what I would call, let's call them sort of the ultra locals. If you roll into their town and you're an outsider, these guys can make you disappear. There's no question about it. And once you disappear, then they're going to go back into their swamps with their stills and whatnot. So these guys are the scariest. But the people who I think will really flourish and who are all over the country son of a bitch, I just swallowed a bug. That's going on the blooper reel. Anyway, so the people who I think who will make it for real in this country and who are already doing so all around the country are these guys. The Amish and the Mennonites and the Dutch. What do they call them? I guess the Dutch, Pennsylvania Dutch. All these communities, these people are doing it already right now. They don't need the full loadout. They don't need the IR strobes and the ship-to-shore radios and what have you. These guys know what is important, and they are passing those skills down from generation to generation. It's interesting, though, and I'm not going to show pictures of this, but there are instances of Amish owning firearms, which I thought was contrary to their religious beliefs, but so be it. They do. That being the case, you give an AR-15 to an Amish guy, and I think you've got just exactly what you need to perpetuate society. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments about this, do me a favor, leave them down below, and subscribe if you get a chance. We'll talk to you later. Shelco for it. Thanks, bye.